where this water flows, where this fire flows, where this air is going, from where it comes. All these are described here and there in Vedas. That is the fundamental of all the shastras like Ayurveda, Tantra, Yoga, Jyotishya, Vastu, etc. So once we closely observe the system of this dynamic system of Panchamahabhutas, we come to a conclusion that all these shastras are based on Panchamahabhutas and their properties and their interrelations, interactions, dynamics. In a modern sense, we have physics, biophysics. In biophysics, again, we have a thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a well established one scientific one subject. We all know. This thermodynamics is the science behind Ayurveda. When we say Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, many of those who study in the modern science may not really able to appreciate what is this Vata, Pitta, Kapha. But this Vata, Pitta, Kapha are nothing but the thermodynamics of Panchamahabhutas into two combos. That you are well aware of, that is a space and air, or water and fire, or water and earth. So this becomes the combos. We say Coca-Cola and one pizza is a combo for us. It comes together. If you eat only pizza, your health may not deteriorate. For that, you have to eat one carbonated drink also. So when you eat these together, your health will deteriorate for perfect. So that is that they present this as different various combos. It's a matter of joke. So Ayurveda considers these combos as Vata, Pitta, and considers and presents as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So similarly, just by observing the human body also, as well as the world, they have been able to bring lot of inferences. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Now my question, sir. Actually,
Yes.
Brahma Smrutva Ayushvedam. Similar to that, remaining chapters like Jyotisha, Vastu, etc., how they derive or how they begin, sir?
This is Dr.
How they
Faiz
invented,
Muhammad?
sir? Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. This is purely by observation, and inference. Not the observation of one person, observation of many persons over a period of hundreds of years, and that is codified, and all that observations they bring and make into a statistical formulas. So that statistic, they have been applying statistics many places to bring probability. So these subjects are not completely developed subjects as we believe. Indians may believe that all shastras are completely developed subjects. No, actually it is not like that. Astrology is a developing subject. Vastu is a still developing subject. Tantra is a developing subject. Hundreds of people have observed many correlations between the position of planet of these planets and the position of this planet and what that brings as a in our human life. What is their effect? There are such hundreds of observations they keep on coding in the Sanskrit verses or other Indian language verses. There may be some rules and some anti-rules. Say some rules may work on 100 people, where some observations may not work on 100 people. It may work on 50 people only. So that separation of such things are very critical in sciences or shastras like astrology, where there will be thousands of rules. You know, there are 12 zodiac signs, and in the 12 zodiac signs, each zodiac sign in your life, if the moon is there in particular zodiac sign, this will be the result. Like that, hundreds of people, acharyas have written hundreds of books in astrology. It may, all observations may not work in all the people, but what is the fundamental principle behind astrology? If you ask, these 9 planets are given the role of 5 mahabhutas. Our body is governed by pancha mahabhutas. This pancha mahabhutas in the earth has a connection to the 9 planets. So if you think, say, something which we can directly get is sun and fire. Sun and fire element is directly related. Saturn and air element is directly related, which we may not understand by simply observing Saturn and air element, we may not understand. But what they say is Saturn is the ruling planet for Vata, because Vata is in turn formed of air, and Saturn is the ruling planet for air. So this Mahabhuta is the connection between the individual and the planet. Now, if you will have a doubt that the planet which is thousands of kilometers away from Earth, how it will influence a human being, one question will arise in all of our mind. The answer is, there are few things which we see. See, sun definitely influences. Biological cycle is based on day and night. So sun definitely influences our life. There is no doubt. Moon influences our life. There is no doubt. But the other planets, that observation is very critical. If you are observing for years together in hundreds of people, then only you will come to a conclusion about the influence of the planet to one human being life. So that is not possible by doing, because this happens in a very long period of time. The experiments are not so easy. So we have to first believe the shastras and try to follow whether it works in our life. It works in our patient's life. It works in our friend's life. In that way, so the principle is the connection between this Panchamaha. So we know this Desha and Kala. So this Desham is in Ayurveda is divided into, the human body is also called as, that the Kshetra or the Desha, and also that external world is also Desha. Like that. So Panchamahabhutas are work. You may ask me the next question.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell me the science behind Nadi Pariksha and its validity in this modern diagnostic era, like, and how it works in the treatments?
Oh, this Nadi Pariksha is a wonderful one invention by the ancient people. The only difficult thing is it is not so codified in the textbooks. This is the biggest issue. But there are hundreds of experts, Ayurvedic physicians, non-Ayurvedic physicians, healers, who will be able to clearly tell what is the mental status, what is the physical issues undergoing by a patient. For that, first we have to by heart or learn the Ayurvedic principles of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. how this Prakriti, Vata Prakriti, how Pitta Prakriti, how Kapha Prakriti, like that. First, that doctor has to understand and understand. So this is a kind of a reverse working. If you want to learn Nadi Pariksha, you have to reverse work on this Vata Pitta Kapha principles. If one doctor, keep keenly observing the nidana, the prakriti, the vikriti of one patient as described in the classical text, and do Nadi Pariksha in the beginning days, they will able to correlate between the pulses and the three doshas. And definitely 99% of the patients will have some prominent symptoms, which is the identification for one particular imbalance of a dosha or the imbalance of a panchamaha bhuta, we can say. Most of the cases, like psoriasis, says we will take a case of psoriasis. Psoriasis is associated with mental pressure. Lot of stress underwent for a years together, say 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, will reflect in the skin as psoriasis. They will do a lot of treatment here and there. They will take a lot of antibiotics. They will take this steroids and all. And in a very difficult stage, they will present to the Ayurvedic hospital. They will come to the person. And definitely, the patient's interest will be curing the skin, making it looking better. But if a Ayurveda physician does Nadi Pariksha, immediately they will tell that this person has undergone lot of mental pressure, mental stress. It may be due to failed marriage, it may be due to work pressure, it may be due to various issues. So those issues and all actually can be identified from astrology, or it can be from Vastu. So that is another part of this the person's history. But definitely from Nadi, it can be identified. And the doctor can start questioning 2-3 questions they can ask. From that, they will definitely get a positive answer. If a doctor practices in this way, within 2-3 years, it is not so difficult to become an expert Nadi, become an expert in Nadi diagnosis. This is my practical experience.
Thank you.
And
Not audible.
Not audible.
science behind yoga and
Not audible.
You can type the question also.
like sir, what is the science behind and the Shat Chakra?
Shat chakra. Okay. So the question what I have understood is you want to know about the science behind Shat chakra, no? Shat chakra is a purely physiology and anatomy of the human being. See, what is chakra? Chakra is a cycle. What is cycle? Something which starts from one point, circulates and come back to the same point. That is a cycle, which we all know. Now, what is this Shat chakras? The cycle of earth element, cycle of water element, cycle of fire element, cycle of air element, and the cycle of space element. See, very simple physiology, I'll tell you. The six chakras, that is the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Ajna, Vishuddhi, and then Sahasrara. Where is this anus situated? Anus is situated at the Mooladhara, where the two legs are joining. Where our anus is present, where our colon is present, where our the malas will go and accumulate. Whatever the solid food which we eat circulates in our body and converts into a mala is nothing but a soil element which is nearest to soil element, and this soil element gets deposited in the anus area and it provokes us to defecate. Now the earth element which entered in the form of food in our body kept on circulating for many days or years in our body, and at the end it became earth element again, and it moves out to the world from the Mooladhara chakra. Now coming to the next chakra, that is Swadhisthana chakra. Swadhisthana chakra is known for water element, Jala. There are three important organs. One is urinary bladder, one is testis and ejaculation of the semen, ovary and uterus. All these are related to, all these are depending on the water element for their function. Water which we drink, which enters from the external world, circulates in our body in the form of blood or whatever the liquid forms, fluids. At the end, get deposited in the urinary bladder, and it provokes us to release that to the world. That point is called the next chakra, that is Swadhisthana chakra. Similarly, the fire element provokes us to urge us to eat the food, so we feel the hunger only in the stomach. We don't feel hunger in the tip of the fingers or tip of the nose or hairs or ears like that. We feel it only in the stomach because the fire element is finely situated in the stomach. I think now it is very easy for you people to understand the various positions of the elements in our body. So next comes the area where chest, where the air element is predominant. Now we have two organs. Hello? Two elements, that is lungs and heart. Lungs receives, also expels the air. Heart distributes the air. This is called Anahata chakra, or the place where the air circulates. So it is the Vayu chakra. The next chakra is space chakra. Space chakra is divided into two sub-chakras. You know, space is a very special kind of element which you cannot smell, you cannot see, which you cannot do anything with that. But it is present. How you know it will present? When we are trying to occupy one space, if something is already occupied in the space, you cannot occupy. We say space is congested, restricted. So by this we will come to know that a space is there, that Akasha Bhuta is present. This Akasha Bhuta is present in two ways. One is the Akasha which is there in our mind. Shastras say that there is an Akasha in our mind which can occupy anything. You can see one big animal and your mind can occupy that. Your mind can occupy a big building in the form of memory, which shows that there is a space inside our mind and there is a space outside this world. The outside world element space is situated in the throat. That is called Vishuddhi chakra. The indication is the formation of the sound is from the throat. Also, there are a few other evidences which in this session I may not be able to give a detailed explanation. The next is the Ajna Chakra, that is the place for mind. So these chakras are nothing but physiological movements of the 5 elements in our body and also the external world. So these chakras connects us to the external world. Now, how these chakras are directed to the health of the well-being of human being? That one point I will tell you. That is called nida. If you don't defecate in time, if you don't urinate in time, if you don't eat food in time, if you don't breathe properly, necessarily in time, if you don't walk properly, these all lead to health issues. You agree or not?
Yes.
So these are all called as based on the so this is in Ayurveda. There are a lot of explanations. See, the diabetes, why diabetes is formed in Indians in so alarming way is because of Ekasthanasana Ratihi. Ekasthana Asana Ratihi. That is, from LKG to the graduation age, around 20 years, we are made to sit in one particular place for almost 8 hours a day in the name of learning. So we don't allow the space element to move. We don't move, or we don't allow the space element to move in with us. This is leading to obesity and diabetes. So the movement of 5 elements is very necessary for the health. We should not block the movements. This itself is called as urges should not be blocked in Ayurveda. Urges should not be Vegavarodha. There are various Vegas, and this Vegavarodha leads us to health issues, which is well known. How this Vega is related to Panchamahabhuta is what I am trying to explain. So here, this is how the Shat Chakras works in very simple format. So this is nothing but it is not a superficial or a magical chakra. It is just the water cycle, air cycle, fire cycle, which is explained in a very imaginary way by the Shastras.
Hello. Is it audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
We are running short of time, sir. Actually,
Yeah.
that was so brief subject, and it's a request in online from my part. Is it possible to have a second session on the same? Would you give you the time for the second session? Because actually we were having a lot of questions, and in this shortage of time, we have only finished only minimal questions. So that's a request. And I request Dr. Jyotsna for the Thanksgiving.
Good evening, sir. Thanks a lot for your time. I know you've been very busy. Enlightening speech, as suggested by Dr. Sharad. Please make some more time for us because we had a lot of questions to ask. I think we finished only 10% of